Hello! In this video we're going to go over integer operations, and we're going to start with adding and subtracting. You'll see two columns of problems, one adding a series of numbers and the other subtracting the same set of numbers to see the difference in those problems. When it comes to adding, here we have 4 plus 3. Both of these are positive numbers. We can add them as we always have. Their answer is 7. Here we have negative 5 and negative 7. Since the signs are the same, we can just add up those numbers and keep the same sign. We get negative 12 for our answer. When we're adding two numbers with different signs, what we're going to do is actually subtract them because these are opposing signs. So we'll take 3 and subtract 2 and I get a 1. And then what I do is I keep the sign of the larger number. The larger number is 3, the absolute value of the larger number. And that is a positive 3. So the answer here is positive 1. Here I have 8 plus negative 4. What I'm going to do, since the signs are different, I'm going to subtract them. And I do 8 minus 4. And I keep the sign of the larger absolute value. The larger number is positive 8, so my answer here is positive 4. When it comes to subtracting, I'm going to subtract the first two numbers as I always have. 4 minus 3 is a positive 1. With negative 5 and negative 7, what I can do is imagine, well, I have negative 5 and I'm subtracting the opposite 7. Negatives in math are opposites, so what I'm going to do is the opposite of what it's saying to do. So I do negative 5 plus 7 and I get positive 2. Here I have negative 2 minus 3. Since the signs are different, what I'm going to do is I'm subtracting 3 more. I'm going to become more negatives. So negative 2 minus 3 is the same as adding the opposite. So negative 2 plus 3 is negative 5. 8 minus negative 4, subtraction is the same as adding the opposite. So if I'm subtracting a negative 4, those are negating each other, so it's the same as adding 4, which would be a positive 12. The next part of this video, we'll look at multiplying and dividing integers. So the rules here are that if I multiply two positive numbers, I'm going to get a positive answer. So 4 times 3 gives me positive 12. If I have two negatives, those negatives will cancel each other out, and negative 5 times a negative 7 will equal a positive 35. If I have opposing signs, or different signs, a negative times a positive will result in a negative answer. Negative 2 times 3 would give me a negative 6. And likewise, a positive times a negative is going to give me a negative answer. 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. When it comes to dividing, the same rules apply. A positive divided by a positive will remain positive. Here, we end up with a positive 4/3. That is an exact answer. You can go to a calculator to approximate the decimal. Negative 5 divided by negative 7, these are the same signs, so it's going to result in a positive number. That will result in 5/7. Negative 2 divided by 3, we can leave this as a fraction, and it will be a negative 2/3. The whole thing is negative because it's negative divided by positive, so we get a negative answer. And again, a positive divided by a negative, so we have positive 8 divided by negative 4. This is going to result in a negative 2.